You guys both have touring experience. I want to hear how it's helped you guys be artist managers.
You learn about just every aspect of the road as a tour manager. I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I haven't done.
What separates the good from the great?
The blind delusion that you're going to find the lottery ticket that's going to take you to the moon.
This is huge. Make yourself more valuable by taking on more responsibility.
Are they down to work? Are they down to hustle? If you don't have that just like complete drive, don't go on the road because you're going to be miserable. Don't do it.
I would love to hear a time where you were winging it.
We were just at a festival and the whole power goes out during our changeover. I don't want it to sound too harsh. If you ask for a percentage of that pie, then you better be prepared for your phone to ring at any hour of the day. And when you're in it, you're in it. You better be ready to sweat the way that artist is willing to sweat.
If you work in live events, whether you're on tour, in production, or just trying to break in, Gigs is built for you. It's the largest community and career platform for the live event industry, where you can learn from people doing the work, connect with others, or hire and find your next job opportunity. And if you're liking the show, please take a second and just give us a 5-star review. It genuinely helps. And lastly, we just launched a brand new merch collection made for the road, just like this one and this one. And many, many more. Go to gigs.live and shop our whole merch selection. It's really fun stuff that's built for people who are actually on the road. Everything you can find at gigs.live. Through bedside and virtual programs, Musicians on Call has delivered the healing power of music to over 1.2 million people in hospitals across the country. And now, MOC is looking for new volunteers to help share the joys of live music. Volunteer guides are the friendly faces who host the programs as volunteer musicians perform hopeful songs to put a smile on the faces of hospital patients, families, and caregivers. To learn more about becoming a Musicians on Call volunteer, visit www.musiciansoncall.org. Welcome to the Gigs podcast. I'm your host, Nikki Sands, founder and CEO of Gigs, the professional career platform for the live event industry. And today we got two really cool guests on. We got Nikki Boon and Tyler Corrado. So Nikki is an artist manager at Neon Coast and has been part of Kane Brown's team since 2015, starting as his tour manager and helping him grow into a 2-times Diamond certified artist. She also manages indie alt pop band Nightly, expanding their reach internationally, including touring across Asia. And Tyler is also an artist manager at Neon Coast, where he manages Restless Road along with BMG's Dylan Schneider and rising singer-songwriter Alyssa Flaherty. Before Neon Coast, he led social media and fan engagement at BBR, BMG Nashville on #1 hits for Lainey Wilson, Jason Aldean, and Jelly Roll, and stepped in as tour manager for Ella Langley right as You Look Like You Love Me was breaking. Y'all, let's go. Some Nashville artist management here. So cool to meet you. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having us.
So I want to start out with how you guys both have touring experience, and I want to hear how individually it's helped you guys be artist managers.
Yeah, it's helped a ton. I think with Kane, I started as his tour manager with no experience in being a manager or a tour manager.
Really?
Just kind of like thrown in to figure it out. But you learn about just every aspect of the road as a tour manager. I mean, most people probably have, when they started, have done other things. I've kind of gone backwards where started as a tour manager and then like helped with production management, helped with merch, driven, all the other things, but like started there. But touring is just like so important to the artist career, and like also working with an independent band. It's where a lot of money comes from, so it's very important for it to run smoothly. But just knowing every aspect, and I've been able to do it more than just like telling people what to do. I think it like speaks so much more to like, I've actually done this. I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I haven't done. Yes. Also just understanding the exhaustion that comes along with being on the road helps in the management side when you're asking for liners or interviews or things like that. Having been there and seeing it, I think, it just sets you up on the management side.
Yeah.
For sure. I think to best understand what your artist is trying to execute on site in front of the fan, and the rest of the crew as well, what are they trying to execute? That helps us plan and tee them up for success, and ultimately, if we can tee them up for success, then we're all going to have easier days.
True.
So to best understand what they're going through on a day-to-day basis helps us plan, prepare, etc.
How big was Kane at the time? 2015 you started with him? Where was he as an artist, and how did you get in the mix? And what were you doing before?
So I was working with Martha Earls. I started as her intern, and then as soon as I graduated college, she hired me just on like part-time, just small things here and there with other artists she was working with. I was working at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Love it.
I'll never forget this. She called me on like a Saturday that I was there doing like the day shift, answering like all the reservations for the week. And she was like, hey, we found this artist. His name is Kane Brown. He's going to do a EP release party. Can you make me a poster? So I was like, yeah, like at the time it was Pic Monkey. I don't know if you remember Pic Monkey.
I do.
Okay.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
like the free photo editor.
Yes.
So I like left the little desk and I went into like the manager's office. I don't even know if they know this. So if they see this, I used their computer like went on Pic Monkey, like got on my email, downloaded the photos, made the poster, sent it over, and that was like the first introduction to who Kane Brown was through Martha at the time.
Wow.
And then yeah, he was posting videos on his Facebook. And they went crazy. You know, people were seeing him, not expecting to hear the voice that they heard out of him. And people needed to see that it was real. So the first show he ever did, this is so funny too, his guitar player, Alex, got reached out to on Facebook by a club owner in Darlington, South Carolina, and said, can we book Kane for this show? And the guitar player was just like, yeah, sure. Just let me know the details, like whatever. And then told us, hey, I booked Kane a show. And we were like,
no
sick.
way.
All right, that's how we're starting. But it was a 750 cap room, which that's a big deal, you know, for your very like first show.
A lot of people.
Yeah. Sold out in 30 minutes. So the guy then said, can I put another night out? And he was like, yeah, sure, do it. Again, just the guitar player. And that one sold out in 8 minutes.
Whoa.
So Martha called me and she's like telling me all about this. She's like, okay, we're gonna go to Darlington, South Carolina. Kane's playing a show. We're like, okay.
Whoa.
Went out there and we went to the first show and she's like, can you just stay and just kind of like tour manage this situation? And I was like, yeah, like I feel comfortable enough with that. So stayed, went to the next night, came to the thing where any fan that was there, he would meet you after the show, like regardless of how long it took.
Yep.
So I was just like taking all the photos, like doing the social media things, whatever. And then the next night did it again. Ended up driving them home in the RV. The electricity went out. We didn't know how to like flip the thing to like get electricity back on.
Oh my gosh.
It's like in November driving through like the mountains.
Oh my gosh.
And like, I don't know where you were in South Carolina. So wherever you go, it was cold and it was dark.
Yeah.
And I've never driven an RV before, but I was the only one old enough on the crew to do it. So I just had to figure it out.
Whoa.
And then we got back and she was kind of like, all right, you did it this week. Can you just do one more weekend? And then I'll bring somebody in. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Did another one, kept calling Ruth's Chris, sorry, I can't come this weekend. I'm doing this again. There was like, you probably need to just quit at this point. So it went on and on and on. And then like around Christmas, that's when Kane was like, why don't you just be the tour manager?
Yo.
All right. So it ended up being like 2 years of my life from that.
Wow.
But yeah, started in like clubs that size, like
True
750.
van club
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
And
It's so fun to hear that snowball of a story.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's really just on demand too.
Oh, it was.
It's
yeah,
not like just
fully.
trying to sell tickets. It's like, no, this people want him.
Yeah.
And so you're just gonna go wherever the tickets are being sold.
Yeah. Like the next weekend was Myrtle Beach, and it was like the inside the club. And I think that was like 500 people. And the bar owner was like, we have so many people waiting. We have to move this outside. Day of the show. Again, this is now my second weekend out of being a tour manager.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember talking to Martha and she was like, you need to go outside. If they say it's 1,500 people, Kane needs to get paid for 1,500 people. And if it's 2,000 people, he needs to get paid for 2,000 people. So she's like, you need to go out there and count heads. So during the show, I swear to you, I was in the back of the crowd being like, that's a section of 10, that's a section of 10, just like going like making sure it wasn't like well over 1,500 in my best guess. You know?
Yeah.
Sure. But it's just stuff like that you don't ever think about.
No, it's so important.
You know?
Yeah. And like putting your foot down and like giving him what y'all was it I guess promoters or just club?
It was like
at that point.
It was just the club owner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah.
That's just one. That's
sick.
just one example of attention to detail that you have to have on the road, as well as back in the office, management and whatnot.
Totally.
I wanted to touch on something Nikki said there, but I probably will mention it a few times in this chat. But you said I just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's a big thing. Like I pride myself on, but I also think I try and communicate to any younger folks that are trying to get in, or even folks that are later on that are, hey, how do you do your job? You know, it's kind of like, or what are you looking for? And I'm like, I just need you to figure it out. I will give you as much information as I can up front.
Yeah.
Whether it's just a dash of this or whatnot, or if it's a whole advance, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I just need you to figure it out. Yes. And that sounds kind of, I don't want it to sound too harsh, but at the end of it, that's what our artist needs. We just got to figure it out.
You need to just be a problem solver. Like, and if you, it's also a great tester too, because how are you going to handle this situation? I can't tell you to handle everything. What's your intuition? And you can suss that
there's
out.
Times you got to roll with, there's times you got to go with the flow or roll with the punches, but there's also times where you got to push back and fight for your artists.
Right.
And, you know, we always got to fight for your artists, but fight for your crew, stand up for them, you know, but at the same time, expect your crew to handle things with grace and integrity, you know, and also be a good representation of your act as well. Yes. But you also might need to swing in on the more aggressive front or the pushback front and be that strong arm, you know, for them.
So Tyler, who did you started in artist management?
I did.
Tell me, or no, label side.
On the label side.
You started labels. Yes. Yeah. So what got you into this and why?
What got me into the label? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So when I first moved to Nashville, I was mid-20s. I was actually just turned 27. Wanted to work in music, but had no idea what that looked like. And after poking around for my first years to like different interviews and different opportunities where I could best fit or just fit, period. Yeah. A wonderful mentor of mine, John Loba over at Broken Bow, who I got connected with. I always remember he said, I came from New York finance to try this music thing down here. So I get what you're going through. So I've got an opportunity for you. Here's your foot in the door. Figure it out. And that was probably a big moment for me where I was like, okay, I just need to figure it out. Yeah. And so it was a bit of winging it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like really just digging in, trying to do my homework, asking a ton of questions. Yeah. You just trial by fire.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. All right. So then going from there.
Yeah.
Did you realize label life wasn't for you?
I did realize that probably rather quickly, and a few things. I loved it for so many reasons, but when I started that job, as it was, hey man, learn quick. Just 6 weeks into that job, COVID hit. The whole industry flipped over. And so from being a social media person at the record label, I felt a lot of pressure to like help our artists and the managers and the record staff to help execute. So it was like, not just learn quick, but like you're very relied on every minute. So every single EP, album, book, television show, et cetera, that our music or artists were involved in, like, and it went out the door, I was on the project to some capacity for those 2 years. So got like a little bit of a boot camp there on the marketing side. And then was blessed to have another artist manager in town reach out and drag me over into artist management, which I actually like through those 2 years got to work with so many different, obviously artists, and through that managers. And I just saw what they were kind of handling. And I felt like my personality and my characteristics would fit nicely into that kind of role. This little, you know, keeper of the village, you know, but also the most like plugged in with the artists to help bring their vision to life and to, you know, carry it out to the world.
That's a great way to explain it. I was wondering, what do you guys say is like the biggest maybe term or adjective or skill that artist managers have that's different from someone who's like, I would be a great TM or I would be a great in publishing? What makes artist managers, what is it? Is it being able to balance a whole lot of things? Is it the motivation? What would y'all say for artist management?
That's a good one. But I think in today's climate, so many managers have so many different backgrounds, and you might have one manager who comes from the digital creative space and can really help you figure out what you're trying to say online. You might have an artist manager who's came up in the publishing world and can really dial in the songs with you and A&R on that front. But at the same time, I know plenty of managers, and I probably consider myself this, but a little bit of a master of none, but jack of all. Like there's a handful of things that I feel really confident in that I can help you excel at. But I don't view myself as like this specialist in any one area. But
it's interesting that you come from the social media side though, because as an artist right now, you have to blow up there in order to make it at all.
Yeah. I'm very grateful that happened to be a part of my, my roadmap here.
That's a huge
so I'm grateful
skill
for that for sure.
What would you say?
Yeah. I was just going to say like hustle, honestly. Okay. And that is for like even tour manager or anything else. Like we were talking about like figuring it out. But I think you just have to be able to like at any point in time dig in. Okay, the artist has this idea. They want to do this thing. You might be over here working on something else, but now they brought this up. Okay, you need to be able to pivot quickly as well. Like pivoting is very, very important. Jumping into all different things, wearing different hats. But it's all down to like, are you down to like grind and like hustle?
What does that
all
mean?
The time.
Can you dive into what are you grinding on? Like, what is a typical day for you?
And honestly, sorry, you're about to say something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick to elaborate on that. Our artists at the core are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
You know,
that's so
very
important.
creative entrepreneurs. I think to answer your question about what makes a good artist manager, we also are entrepreneurs in a way.
100%.
You know, we are. And so the teamwork or the collaboration on that front is we're both entrepreneurs clawing for our life.
Right.
And so I think that's why we naturally like get each other the best.
Yeah.
You know, or we are it most of the time in that artist village. We are the most like connected. So the best artist manager I think is going to be one that has that entrepreneurial spirit at their core, similar to what the artist needs to have. But we have it in different capacities. We have different to the artists. You know, they're obviously the more creative and we're probably a little bit more structured than they are.
Right. Doers though.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Yeah.
I actually love the question about like what's a typical day, because there's never been an answer that like actually makes too much sense to me, because that's what I love about the job is that you can't answer that question.
Yeah.
Because it's always so different, and maybe it's just like the way that my brain works. I don't know if maybe I'm a little ADD or something. I've never really been tested, but I'm always jumping. So even the fact that it's like I have one side with Kane that's very specific and at a very specific level. I have one side with Nightly that's very specific and different and at a different level and independent versus major label and like all that kind of stuff. So I think like a good example was like this weekend when Kane's bar opened on Broadway.
Yeah.
And, I'm dealing with like inviting all like the VIPs. I was running the front door, which brought me back to my Roots Chris days.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Hosting. I was like out there with my paper and being like, yes, you're in. Yes. Okay. Go walk this person in. Like doing that, like brought me back, which was amazing. But then at the same time, like Nightly was there and they were like, oh, because we're announcing an album.
Oh,
today.
nice.
And they're like, hey, we have this amazing idea for the album. We're going to do all this stuff. And so it's like taking my brain and switching from here to like over here. And it's like, okay, this album thing, remember these, think, listen.
Yeah.
Remember what they're talking about, all this creativity, like write it down and then go back over here because Kane's like, hey, this person needs this one thing, whatever. Can we do this? I'm going to go up and say hi to everybody. So it's like, a typical day is like always so different. I don't know. It's back and forth and it's just a million things always happening. But like if you don't, that's like I think a thing for a manager. You have to like love that.
Yeah. That's really congrats by the way on the opening. That's
so
huge.
Fun.
But it's like so specific. I know it is, but it was like it just happened. So like, and it's I think what's a day? I don't.
Well, and you're your own entrepreneur in your own right, and you're doing literally a million things. You're running a business.
Yeah.
But also, I'm like feeling just a huge support role. Like you are someone who is their cheerleader, and like again, being the brain dump ground of I want to do all these things.
Yes.
But they know it's only possible because you guys are actually harnessing that and remembering it, and then actually doing. So the doing, the entrepreneur support. That's how. Yeah.
And our name, Nikki's. We looked at this before. What is it? Victory of people.
Victory of people.
For people.
I will go by that.
Champion. We're champions.
Champion
of
of people. Yes,
You
and
have
you
to be.
are a bricklayer.
Oh, the bricklayer. Yeah.
Building
I'm
brick
so
by
glad we
brick.
dug into
Which
that.
actually,
It is.
Artist manager from birth, bro.
Literally.
Song by song, fan by fan.
Fan by fan.
Yeah,
Fan
that's
by
true.
fan, one at a time. Yeah, man. When you have to like pick your brain up from one creative space into maybe either another creative space or just into a more admin, or logistical spot, that is weirdly fatiguing when you're having to like ping pong back and forth, and just because you're in the van with your artists and they're yapping about good yap, they're going on and they're going on and on. It's a good yap.
I love it. Keep going.
No, we do love it. But they're going on and on about an idea or even how this went yesterday or etc.
Yeah.
You might be firing away on something else for your other client, and like you got to be able to do both. You got to be able to still give them what they need in the moment, but also what your other artist needs halfway across the world or across the country, and still service that to the best of your ability, and hope and trust that your relationship with your clients, they understand that you're doing all that stuff in a different fits for different clients and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
And
So
also not letting them feel that. Just want to tack that on.
you can't let them.
I never
feel
want them
that.
to know. Not that I'm like hiding anything, but I never want them to feel like, hey, I'm in the middle of this for this other person. I can't do this for you right now.
Yeah.
So that's like a part of it as well. When you have multiple clients, like I never ever want them to feel the weight of somebody else.
That's huge.
It like, cause like when my attention's with you, like my attention is with you, even if in the back of my mind, I'm working on 3 different things. I never ever want them to feel that.
That's a great skill.
Yeah, and also just learning how to communicate with your artists too, better understanding what makes them tick and maybe what might turn them off. So like if you are dealing with another client issue, like my clients are so wonderful as humans too, that if I'm just upfront with them and honest, like right away, hey guys, I'm putting out a fire over here. Can you give me 5? Can you give me 10? Can you give me an hour? They're usually pretty good with it. But at the same time, I try not to make that too often, you know, because you don't want them to feel like that they're not a priority for you. And
Yeah, especially if you have one on a major label, one independent. And so then there could be, it's like children. You can't let them know who's your favorite, I guess, right? I'm just kidding.
We're all,
I don't have kids,
We're all
clearly.
oversized children over here.
Yeah, truly.
Okay, so I actually am kind of curious about like what's the difference in managing an artist on a major label and then independently?
I think it's like on the major with Kane, there's a lot of people involved. So you have to be great about, you're kind of like the center, you know, of everybody. And it's like your job is to make sure if you have all these people involved that like have their own roles and that are like helpful in their own roles, we're always communicating. I want them to like be welcomed into the idea. If it is like a song idea, it's like looping in the A&Rs. If it's a publishing idea, it's looping in that team. It's like there's so many different teams involved and you're kind of at the center of it. And then in independent, like you still are you're in the center of it, but it's just kind of you guys, you know? So every kind of creative idea, song idea, A&R idea, it's important. And I'm very lucky because we have such a great team at Neon Coast and we do like our weekly meetings. And so it's like, they'll bring me a song and where on Kane's side, I can loop in the A&R team and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. For me with Nightly, it's like, I like to like show people in the office, you know, to get some more feedback. Cause sometimes you can get so deep. It's just like us 4, you know? And it's like having some, what's the word I need? Perspective, outside perspective is so helpful. And you do have that kind of built in over here on the major label. And then over here, it's like every single dollar we spend is coming out of these guys' pockets.
Yeah.
You know? So when it comes to like ad spend, anything like that, it's just different because I actually heard a comedian say this the other day. You when you have like an hourly job, you think of things like okay, this drink is an hour of work.
Yes.
Like, and so you kind of like think differently like that. And over here, you do have like, you know, a mega giant corporation that if you're like, hey, we want to do this like big music video or this thing, you know, it's just a little bit of a different perspective that you go through.
And there are different team structures around all different artists, you know, whether you're on a major label, you're an indie that has sold out the Ryman, which is wild.
Hey,
you know, like Nikki's band, Nightly.
Let's go.
Or like, I mean, one of my independent clients still like manages their own finances. We don't have a business manager there yet.
Wow.
So I'm also very heavily involved in putting together those budgets. Whereas like on a bigger team, I might be able to hand that over to the finance or the business manager, the finance team, to help me with budgeting and whatnot. But on that artist, like that also funnels into me. So you just kind of have to wear all the hats.
Literally, I mean,
until the village gets built out a little bit more, you know?
When can you build the village? When can you hire the TM and the PA? When can you hire business management? At what point in their career? And I know it all depends on like if a tour bus is really important to them or if whatever is actually important to them. But can you give some examples maybe?
I think a priority would be for me, as soon as I can get my hands off the money, like, and find a business manager that's willing to take the project on, like that's a huge thing. Because when you're, as an artist manager, when you have your hands on every aspect of the business, I feel like that puts the artists in a tough spot.
Yeah.
And I think in my core, I want nothing but the best for my artists and my clients. But, you know, until I can get that artist to the right point of a business manager ready to take on that project and whatnot, it's my responsibility.
Okay.
So,
wow.
But I think if I'm like looking to expand the team, as soon as I can get the money out of my hands and into someone else to help break up,
Yeah.
a bit of that potential liability, like would be a huge help. But yeah, if they want a TM, or you feel like, as a manager, I can't be on the road with you that much, I either need to see that you can handle yourself on the road.
Oh yeah.
Which all my clients can. So that's great.
Yeah.
But if they need a little extra help doing this or doing that, is it a guitar player that's on the road with them that can also assume some of those tour managing responsibilities? That's a pretty common one. Or another band member.
Front of house.
Front of house, whoever it might be. So one of the band and crew that could handle the extra responsibilities, always helpful, always needed. And I always tell the touring community, whoever they are in the team, like, find a way to make yourself more of an asset.
Yes.
I always tell them too, like, especially if it's a content person, how can you just add a little extra help here? Or if you're more of a photographer, but you want to be more, valued more, then go like learn a bit more on video. Like, you have to. It's way more of an asset. If you're front of house and you're just unhappy with the rate we can give you right now, okay, step up and do a little bit more planning, and then show me that you're worth the extra X amount of dollars per show.
Yes.
By taking on a little bit more responsibility right now.
Yeah.
I want to stay here for a second. This is really interesting because there's a big conversation happening of, people taking on a million different jobs and not getting paid, and rightfully so frustrated by that. But at the same time, when you're trying to just get into the industry, I was like, you're paying me to do this? I'm like, just happy to be out here. Obviously I get it. Like, we all need to actually live. But this is huge. Make yourself more valuable by taking on more responsibility. And then you'll get paid more too. And then you can kind of move up the ranks that way. How do you guys take a chance on new people? Or do you go with established people in the industry? Because if you have more of an indie, you're a little bit more scrappy in your budget. How do you decide who you want to hire on these brand new teams?
Oh, it's just people. I think you have to be a great A&R of people as a manager. For Nightly, we actually just brought Dawson from our company. His brother just moved to Nashville. He's 19, really interested in clothing, wants to have a clothing line, and was like, I think I could do merch. And it's like, okay, I've sold merch for Nightly because we were on the road and we couldn't afford a merch person, so I did it. So it's like, all right, I've done that. We have an incredible manager of their merch. Her name is Danielle. She's the best. She trained him for a little bit beforehand. You kind of get some cues from people. Are they down to work? Are they down to hustle? Like I was saying before, you have to have that. If you don't, if you don't have that, just like complete drive, don't go on the road.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be miserable. Don't do it. If you really believe in it and you really believe in the artist and they like the artist, they like the music, they want the experience. I get it. I've done it. And like, you just kind of have to be like down to try and to grow.
You were driving the van.
I've driven the van. You know, I once drove the van from Salt Lake City to Denver overnight, got in a plane, flew to Nashville to go run an event for Kane that night. Like you just have to like do the things. Do like if you want to be a part of it, you can. Yeah. But it's like, and I'm not trying to say that we like take advantage of people because I never want to put that out there, but you do have to just like, as you want to grow, you do kind of have to show that you're down to try. But
that will never change in our industry either. That's the thing that it's like, I'm trying to also get out there is like,
there's so many more artists. There's so many more artists out there that just flat out don't have the budget yet to have someone on the road that handles like every little minute job that there is. Because there's a lot. So you have to sometimes assume additional responsibility than maybe what you want. And we hate that we're asking that of you, but we're just trying to keep this thing going. Trying to move it forward, keep the train on the tracks or whatever you want to call it. But we're not asking anything that you can't do.
Or that we haven't done.
That we haven't done
there it
ourselves.
Yeah. I love that you brought up the entrepreneur thing because I had a friend where she was on an A-list arena tour, stadium tour, and she was like, I just want to grow with an artist. She was a PA at the time. She's like, I just want to grow. So she left this beautiful, cushy job to go with a more up and coming because that was the grind she wanted. And she loved that. And so that's like the attitude that you have to be looking for.
If you've got the iron stomach for that gamble, then go for it.
Yeah.
You know
but also on something that you kind of like hit was with somebody being a tour manager, maybe like a guitar player, something like that. That's another thing that's great about a manager who has toured because you know how to do like advancing and things like that. So it's like for that person, it's like, hey, I'm really interested in being a tour manager. Then if that was for me and they were showing me signs of like, they've got their head on straight, I feel like I can trust them out there, then it's like, I'll help you advance all these shows. I've done this. I'll show you how to do it. Put me on all the emails. I'll make sure you're good to go. And like, you kind of like can guide them and like train them as they're out there. But I feel like that's another thing of like being a manager who has toured,
Boom.
you know?
Totally.
No, because like I said earlier, when you can understand what needs to happen from seeing the offer come in and whether or not you're going to accept it for ABC reasons. And then once the offer's accepted, okay, let's make sure the band is all in place, the crew's all in place, travel, etc., advancing, the production needs to hospo, anything else. Need. But like to understand what is needed day of show to make everything go off, right? Then we're kind of, if you don't know that, you're just kind of wing it.
Can we, I would love to hear a story from both of you guys of a time where you were winging it and like maybe you fucked up and you were like, oh, I don't want to do that again. Do you have any kind of horror stories that you want to share?
You know what I just did? I messed up so bad. I just did it and I'm figuring it out. But I like missed a line item on a touring budget that then when we got the thing back, it was like, this wasn't put in there. And we've worked it out, but like, I am not that person. I'm not the budget person.
Right.
Like, I'm more like the creative, the whatever. And like, it just completely did not make, the line item did not make it on that budget. And it just got missed. And that sucks so bad.
Yeah.
And it will never happen again.
Yeah.
But that literally just happened to me.
How did you handle it in the moment?
I mean, in the moment, privately.
Yeah, privately.
Not great. I mean, I was like very upset about it. I felt terrible because it's like when you look at what you think you're supposed to make on the tour and then you see what you actually made. And it wasn't like, the end of the world. Like they made money on the tour. Everything ended up being fine, But it was like when you see the difference and you see it in email, hey, this wasn't included on the budget, but we saw this here. And you're like, that, you go back through your emails, like feverishly through my emails, like, I know I said it.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And it's like I took freaking ownership. I told the band, this is on me. I'm covering this because this is on me. Like, you have to just, you got to take accountability. And then, like something I've learned even from Martha is it's like, and I think this is great for everybody. When you do something wrong, and you are going to, everybody messes up.
Yes.
Just own up to it. Like, I don't need a bunch of excuses. I don't need I don't know this, whatever. I don't want to hear that from you. I would rather you just say, I messed this up. I don't know. I don't really know how this happened. I'm so sorry. How can I fix this?
Beautiful.
That's just what you got to do. And you figure it out and then you move forward. That's what I did. I told the band, this was on me. I'm handling this. I'm so sorry. It's never going to happen again. They're the nicest guys ever. So they were completely kind about it. But
it's also not what
you're in the background.
Yeah.
It's not what you're an expert at. It's hard.
It's definitely not. I'm not a money person. I got a 60%
Yeah.
in accounting. Okay, so
Stop. Well, speaking of accounting, that's actually where I started my career. So
No way.
enough,
I can't believe
it's
it.
such a funny transition.
Different skills.
So again, coming up in that world, black and white, your numbers are either right or wrong.
Yeah.
Then I get myself into music where I'm using a whole different part of my brain.
Totally.
But again, none of that was production and none of that was live show. None of that was touring. So when I do start having to like handle a little bit of work in that space, advancing shows to me, I even had to ask someone close to me when I first got into management. I had to ask someone close to me. I was like, hey, in my previous life, advance meant like advancing money, financial.
Yeah, right.
Like, what are we using the word advancing for in music? So like that's even how elementary of a question you have to ask sometimes. But so advancing shows, I've made so many mistakes in what am I asking for? What am I actually forgetting to ask for? Even rocking up to a gig and not asking for in-ear monitors and having to day of like source them locally because I didn't advance it right. So, but that was very early on for me and laughable now. Also,
you have to learn that the hard way though.
Oh yeah, you gotta step in some.
So that you like, I won't do that ever again. Mm-hmm. That's like But has any mistake that you guys ever made in learning ever like made you miss a show or anything like that couldn't be repaired?
I don't want to answer that because I don't want to jinx it.
Okay, it's okay. No, we're talking about the past.
To knock out pretend. That's what. No.
Period. That's just the past. We're not talking about that. That's great. That's huge.
Fair question though.
Yeah, because I feel like even if a truck doesn't show up, the shit it gets figured out still, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't any of my doing, but we were just at a festival in the UK a couple months ago, and the power went out in the tent that we were in.
Yeah.
Massive tent. And the whole power goes out right before, during our changeover.
Oh.
So we're about to go on, and I had to pull my artist aside, and I said, hey man, like, if this can't get resolved because they started pushing back everybody after us. So they gave us a little bit of time, but I was like, if this doesn't get fixed in the next 15 or 20 minutes, I'm going to walk you out into the middle of this tent in front of thousands of people, and we're going to like try and create a moment and just like break everyone down, get the crowd to hush. And we're going to let you rip, just on your own, as you and your guitar, as loud as you can. And this was day 3 of a festival. So we've been in the UK around the UK and Europe actually for 2 weeks already. And so he probably already had 5 or 6 shows, and we've been out, on some of the cans for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, was he vocally like his best? He'll probably tell you no. But I was like, how many songs can I get out of you if I'd have to drag you in front of these people? And also I wouldn't have to drag him. He would happily go out there.
Yeah, yeah.
But he was like, I'll go for 25 minutes, but like after that, I'm going to have to be pushing.
Yeah.
But like just your artist and seeing your artist in that moment, willing to do whatever he needs to do to win those fans over and just like give them what they deserve and came for, I think is a really special moment. And I was really proud of him for I knew he would say yes and be like, let's do it. But like, it's just a nice moment to see like, but then, 8 minutes later, boom, power goes back on, show goes on, and we rip.
It's a good moment for you guys to have.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
But just knowing that he's ready to rock the way I'd be ready to, link arms and go with him. So
I'm going to
cool.
say that that's going to happen in the future because you guys had that moment. That's totally going to happen.
Something will happen like that. Yeah.
And I actually kind of hope it does. In a horrible way, but like that would be such a cool
in the best
moment.
way. No.
Yeah.
And there's a selfish part of you that's like, I know that would have went off so well.
Dang
like, damn, I wish it would have
That's the
happened.
viral moment.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So
very cool. But also, again, that's the way your brain is working, which is
I think that's
so
the
creative.
marketing side of my brain. Yeah,
yes.
I'm like, I can envision this popping off. And
yes.
whether it does, who knows? But
where do you feel like your brain is best? Like, is it in managing the million different things and kind of being that or like, because I'm seeing marketing is for sure, because that's where my brain goes first. It was always marketing. I have to train it to be in finance, and it's horrifying. But where do you feel like you're strongest?
I think it's probably the same. Like I definitely lean into like the marketing of it, marketing ideas, social ideas. Yeah. And I try to be a good energy, you know, which is not always easy, especially when people are used to you being the good energy in the room. If you're ever tired, it's, that's hard.
Yeah.
But it is important to have like a lifting person kind of around, and I try to be that. So
I'll back you up there. I love your ideas. I love the roundtable discussions we have, in the office almost every day. But I think one thing I've enjoyed so much of working with you the last year is knowing that you're always down to throw an idea out there that I definitely wasn't having. So I can trust you on that
That's
front.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
So Nikki, you talked about how kind of understanding your artists and crew, trying to be that good vibe for them, but you're still touring. So you're still experiencing what they are. What is your mindset like at home versus away?
I think like when you're there, your mindset is in right now, in this moment, making it the best moment. Is everything handled? Is this person where they're supposed to be? Like that? You're right there in the moment of the show, right? Everything that's been planned for. Or when you're home team kind of vibe, it's like that's the planning.
Okay.
And that's like the bigger picture. And that's like taking the meetings with, people and actually having time to like go grab a coffee with somebody from the label or publishers or meeting new people in town. I think that's a hard thing about, especially when you're out on the road so much. Yeah. You still have to invest into your town, into your industry, And like and that's something I'm trying to be better about. Like when I'm in Nashville, actually getting together with different people and sitting down and like, because whenever you do that, great ideas come out of that and opportunities come out of that. So I think the difference is like, you're like very in the moment on the road, and at home you're very much more planning and big picture kind of space.
Easier to flip the switch there then. Yeah. Interesting. What about you? What do you think?
I love seeing how well things can come together when your home team in Nashville is on the same page and in agreement with the road team. Because you also sadly have seen it when you're not. And things, when that friction comes about, it just makes the whole ordeal just not flow right, and it's just not fun for anybody. So when we're at home, trying to tee them up for success as best as possible, down to every little minute detail to make their day go smoother. And then when you're out there with them, you know, still doing the same thing, but also just like treating them like people, you know, because we've also been on that side. You know, we are on the road with them, and the more we are on the road with them, like, we're people too.
Yeah.
You know, and we have good moments, good days, bad days, things that make our day easier. So,
like what?
oh man,
How can the crew care for the manager? That doesn't happen.
your engagement is going to go way down if you ask that question. You're
They'll
gonna,
take care of the manager. They're like, "Bleh." Just kidding. No, but actually
But
though, when
we
you
have
guys
good
come
people.
out,
We have good people out there, and yeah, like it's that's funny, but
are
like
people
also
taking
like
care of you for real? You're keeping
that's
the
like
show
the
on the
most
road.
manager thing of like that's like for me. I'm
Don't-
like
yeah, don't think about me.
Don't
Yeah,
think
hold
about
on.
don't
no,
think
no.
about me.
Wow.
Please
Oh,
don't.
God.
That makes me uncomfortable.
We need to start a
You see how
group
comfortable
about
just
this.
got?
Yeah, we do.
I
Just
know.
got
So
like-
funny.
Are you guys like that in your personal lives too? Of like kind of doing everything for everyone?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
ever do anything for yourselves?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
some things you learn in your personal relationships are you don't have to be the fix-it. Sometimes you just have to be, you know, the listener.
Hey,
And
it's a good lesson.
yeah, you gotta learn that one sometimes.
That's hard.
But especially
Yeah.
when our job every day is, oh, problem, great,
Yeah.
let's fix it. Don't care whose fault it is, but here's how we fix it. you
That's
know?
hilarious.
Yeah.
True that. You're good fixers though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because when you're so good at doing things for others, the support role, like there is something really special about your brains.
A quick thought on that too.
Yeah,
is
please.
In our industry, where like so much publicly, let alone privately, is measured by like data and statistics
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
accolades every day in front of all your peers, nonstop, and weighs on you pretty heavily.
Yeah.
And in our day-to-day minutia, any little fix it is a win. And so honestly, like,
Oh, wow.
those feel like emotional boosts.
Yeah.
You know, when so much of our time is measured, you know, by streams and
Yeah.
social engagement and things like that. I don't know. Accolades,
out of your control.
That's a lot of it is out of our control.
Yeah.
But so in the moment, the little wins, I think for us can be those fix it moments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
What do you guys do if your artist is kind of dipping a little bit? Like, because there's always the natural, oh, they're making the headlines a lot. That's good. And then maybe they need to be quieter or something. But what do you do if your artist is maybe getting a little not as motivated, needing a break, or the streams aren't there, or the numbers aren't there, and the label's unhappy? Like, how do you guys handle the tough times?
I think it's an artist by artist, it's a person by person thing. Everybody wants something different. I think you need to learn that about your people and what they need in that moment. It's very different for all of my people that I work with. And I think just kind of leaning into what they need and trying to read them as best as you can. If they need a minute, they need to have a minute. And that's okay, you know? And I think that's on you too. If they need to have a break, like what can you do in this moment to allow them that, to like keep things rolling? Do you have social media clips that you can keep posting? You have them in a folder ready to go. Like, hey, don't worry about it. We've got a folder. We've planned ahead. You know, it's like things like that. But yeah, I think it's a big thing on like listening and trying to read from them, maybe even without them saying it, kind of what they need in that moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, doing your best. I don't know for that.
A lull in their career is always going to happen, if not multiple times. And to me, it's not a huge red flag. It's just part of the cycle that we all go through. And so if they are in a lull, down on themselves, down the career, you know, give them that minute to kind of build back, work on themselves, or just go live a little bit of life.
Yeah.
And let life happen to you. And if life happens to you good, or if life happens to you bad, I still know we're going to get some good songs out of it. And that might be terribly selfish to say, but
Get your heart broke.
yeah, like
Get
just,
them down the album.
yeah, you know, go exactly. So all
Yeah.
that stuff. So I just know that like there are going to be lulls, and it's, you want your creatives, I think, to go have their high highs and have their low lows.
Yeah.
But for us, I think it's important. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think our managers need to be right here while the artist passes through on the high highs and on the low lows. So
How do you match them in the high highs as managers? do anything to meet them there, or like think of any way to plan something to celebrate a win for your team, for the crew, or something like that? If you have any stories.
We're always celebrating.
Yeah.
My favorite story is there's a guy who's Kane's creative director. His name is Alex Alvga. He's so freaking talented. I met him in 2017. He's from Barcelona, Spain.
Cool.
He now has his green card because of all the work he's like done with Kane and everything. It's like so exciting. It's like such a success moment. But when he first came in, I'll never forget him like saying to Martha and I, he's like, "You guys are always drinking champagne. You're always celebrating. There's always something." It's like, yeah, dude, like, do you like look around and see like the stuff that we're doing right now? This is so fun. Like, there's like little thing. Oh, it's like at the time, like iTunes was like, you know, so much bigger of like you have the number one on the iTunes chart. It's like, okay, send somebody, let's go, let's grab a bottle of champagne. Let's just like pop it. Everybody have a sip. Like, I think having those like celebrations are just so important because like you said, like there's highs and lows, you know? And so it's like when you have those highs, like let's enjoy him and celebrate him. But I love that it was like the first thing he noticed about us.
You're always
and I was
like celebrating something.
that's great, dude. That's what you think about us? We're too much celebrators? That's great.
That's a good
I'll
thing.
take that.
Yeah.
I think also trying to understand your artist and who they are as a person and how do they maybe want you to show up. And so if it is a high, you know, do they want you to throw them the party? Or,
Yeah, that's
or are
true.
they more like
That's true.
the dialed back reserve kind of person, and a party's not what's going to like
Right.
make them feel fulfilled, you know? Or if it's like, hey, let's just go grab dinner, you know?
Yeah.
You grab the missus, let's go to get dinner, you know? Or you know,
Yeah. How do y'all fill your cups then?
I actually love to travel so much. I'm super grateful that that's a part of my job. So I try to like, when we're going somewhere, go a couple days early, stay a couple days after if I can.
That's awesome.
Just like experience new places. And also just at home, I think it's like learning the things that do bring you joy. Like I love to go to Pilates. I love to box. That's how we met. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But things like that, like exercise is good for your endorphins, things that bring you joy. I think, you know, being with people that make you feel good and that you like to be around is important to make time for them, your family.
Good.
You know?
Yeah.
When you're traveling, like as we all know, it can be very taxing, you know, and so physically and emotionally. So finding ways on the road to take care of yourself, if that's exercise or if it's just some down one-on-one time with yourself, like exploring a city, or if you know someone in the area, like go get a coffee, go get a lunch with them if you have time, or invite them out to the show and share how special your life is to where it actually feels so day to day for us. But in reality, for the 99.99% out there, it's extraordinary. And so if you are able to, you know, bring a guest into the show or things like that, like that's really special. And
it makes it special for you too. It makes you look at, oh wow, look at what you've really accomplished.
Yeah.
Okay, how did you guys meet? Okay, we haven't even touched that. That's my bad.
so funny.
We met at, do you know Rumble on the Road?
Rumble on the
Yes.
Road.
Yeah.
Y'all are badasses.
There's an
for doing that.
incredible
You should
charity
do it.
event. Yeah.
Have you done it?
I'm a weenie with
I'll
that.
happily drop
I
your
don't
name in
like
the
even.
Yeah, happily.
I don't like. I mean, I love working out. I do
you
like
love
high
it.
rocks. I just don't like violence. Do you get hurt?
Not if you don't get hit.
Oh,
No, it's fine. It's just an impact.
Not if
You
you're
don't have to.
good.
Yeah.
Just don't put your head
Wait,
there.
yeah, okay, I'll do it.
We were on opposite teams.
Really?
We trained
okay.
with
And,
different gyms, different coaches.
Both won our fights,
Yeah.
which was great.
It's a really, it's
awesome.
this charity experience has been going on for 20 plus years now.
Yeah.
And, but if they select folks in the music industry, workers mostly, maybe songwriters, but they try and stick away from artists, I think. But,
Even though
Gotta
Kane-
protect
Kane
that.
really wants to.
Yeah.
He
They,
really
awesome.
They'll put you with like a local boxing gym and coach for about 3 months. You train as much as you and your schedule can allow. And then you all come together on this like beautiful fight night. And it's like everyone gets dressed up. There's
It's
dinner.
gorgeous.
There's
So
open
epic.
bar.
Yeah.
It's a huge production. It's like probably 800,000 people, and all the money goes to like various charities, etc. It's so fun.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. But in a room of 1,000 of your peers in a small town like Nashville is, you don't want to lose.
You don't want to lose,
so-
and you've got some winners over here.
That was cool.
What
Yeah,
years
so-
did y'all do it?
We both did 21,
Was that it? Okay.
which is wild to think it was
I think
that
that
long
might
ago.
have been the year I went.
I know.
Or one of the years. Yeah, that's a.
It was like the first one
hard to
back out
watch.
of COVID. So
Yeah.
it was cool.
So this was before you guys were both at Neon Coast.
She
Okay.
was Neon Coast.
Yep.
I was still at BMG at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. First of all, I just have to say Neon Coast was an early supporter of gigs. So thank you for So, and I know that like all of our emails and everything has been true. It was so annoying. So thank you for being, y'all were posting jobs very early on when we were just kind of starting.
Yeah.
So
this
thank
is important. Like, I'm not even trying to be
Y'all smash
whatever.
it.
This is important because it is hard to figure out your way in and how to find people. And sometimes you can't just go through your texting contacts on your phone and find somebody, and you need to actually have like some references and something.
It's
so
nice
this
to have
is
a
important.
streamlined platform. Yeah, I mean,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a lot of things coming. So thank y'all. But Neon Coast, tell me about when you started and then when you came into it as well.
It's funny because Neon Coast, like, it was kind of like the name change. But I've worked with Martha now for a long time. I'm not even gonna say the years because I'm not gonna age myself.
Okay.
But it's been a long time before it was that. Like,
Yeah.
it was initially EFG.
Okay.
And then Martha and I had like one called Chalkboard, and then it became Neon Coast when Restless Road was signed, which I believe was like 2019.
Awesome.
Yeah, is then when the name changed. So I've kind of always been there.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't join the team till last summer.
Okay.
So coming up on a year now,
Yeah.
actually next week. Which
Congrats.
is crazy. Thank
Wow.
you. It's so fun. But I did, I obviously met Nikki in 2021 when we were at the boxing event. But then before that, when I was at BMG, we had signed Dylan Schneider to a record deal. I was a huge fan of Dylan just as like a consumer. And listened to the tunes and his come up. And then when Dylan had signed a record deal, I got to meet Martha. And through the years, just, Dylan actually was support on another tour of one of the artists I worked with.
Cool.
In management. And then we just stayed kind of casual friends, like at arm's length and whatnot, and still was always cheering him on. And then Dylan and Restless Road needed management last summer. An opportunity came up. So the boys, I guess, had asked for me, which was flattering.
That's cool.
And they probably totally made that story up, but you know what?
Whatever, we're going with it.
Yeah, that's what they did to feed my ego.
Oh.
No, man. So and
love that.
when we got connected, we chatted through it. And it made a lot of sense, and I was super excited for the opportunity to rock with the boys. So
Wow. Personalities had to align.
yeah,
then.
and Martha
Yeah.
too. Like getting to meet
Yeah.
Martha so many years ago, and casually working with her, seeing her at events, and just getting to know her a bit.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what a fighter, what a boss.
Yeah.
I also refer to her as like a dog. I think she's an absolute dog in the fight.
That's cool.
And I love rocking with that. So, shout out Martha, I guess.
Yeah. Wow.
She's a serious champion
Yeah.
for her people.
What do you?
Truly.
That must be a way that really separates.
She's
What
built
else?
a great culture, and
Yeah.
only being there for a year, like, man, I'm still oozing excitement, every day with it. So I'm so grateful for the support that she pours into not just the artists, but also myself.
Wow.
And
big time.
I'm grateful for it, and she's just one of the many people that I've got to learn from in town, and grateful for them all, but she's a dog.
She's a dog. I like that. That's a high praise.
Man, she's a fighter, and like I just
Yeah.
love.
she got some 2 fighters on her team too.
No, she
Apparently,
does.
that's
Clearly.
part of the thing you have to fight to
Yeah,
win.
actually, yeah.
yeah. That's awesome.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
What else would you say, I guess, would separate anyone that wants to get into this industry and become a manager, other than having some touring experience, because that can only help?
Right.
What separates the good from the great?
Work ethic, I think, a little bit.
The blind delusion
There it
Yeah.
is.
that this is that you're gonna find the lottery ticket
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
gonna take you to the moon. Now, I mean, a lot of the other roles in the artist team are a bit more structured, are a bit more, I'll just say structured,
Yeah.
but ours is just a little bit of everything at all times.
Yeah.
And someone once told me, like, hey, because this is when I was first thinking about getting into management, and I was like, and they said, like, listen, if you ask for a percentage of that pie, then you better be prepared for your phone to ring at any hour of the day, and you have to pick up.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're in
when
it.
you're in it,
24/7.
you're in it. And,
yes.
and
you got equity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a big thing, is don't think this is just some cushy gig.
no.
You better be ready to sweat the way that artist is willing to sweat.
Yeah. Totally. It's joining a startup.
Yeah.
That's,
Entrepreneurialism.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that actually was one of the reasons why I started gigs was I was trying to hire a tour manager with Asian touring experience or Asia touring experience. And I realized how hard it was to find that on Facebook groups and how unique it was, and knowing that I couldn't just go TM that. So you just came back from Asia and you were going, or no?
Nikki.
You did. I'm sorry. You came back from Asia. You
Yeah.
came back from Europe.
Yes.
Okay. Talk to me about that and how you even learned the ropes of it.
It was so life-changing. It was amazing. Through an incredible company who was a part of the expo, the World Expo, they hired Nightly to go out and perform at the World Expo in Osaka. So we got to fly out to Osaka, and they were like, hey, you give us your start date and then your end date of when you're flying. So that was like the greatest gift ever, because it's very expensive, especially as an independent band, to tour in Asia.
Yeah.
So they pay for your flights there and back and like your hotel. So we just did our hotel or our flights 2 weeks after when we actually ended. And we were just like, let's just figure this out. Let's see what happens. Because they are having like a lot of success in Asia right now. They have a song called 1989. It's like all their top 5 markets on everything right now are in Asia, which is so cool.
Yeah.
So we put a poster out that had the dates for Osaka, and then we said Tokyo, and we said location to be announced, because we were like, we don't know how big of a space to get. We'll find one. And by the way, we found out we were going to Osaka 2 weeks before we went to Osaka. So there's that too.
Casual.
Yeah. So we put it out, and there was a huge response for Tokyo, and then there was an even bigger response for Manila. So the guys and I were kind of like, hey, we're out here. Can we make this work to just quick pop over to Manila, do a show there?
Wow.
I have a great friend who works at Hard Rock, and he connected me to their international team. And I was just like, I have this band. I feel like we can fill the room. I don't know. We have never toured in Asia, but I think we can. And they were like, okay, yeah, we'll just kind of, put it out and see what happens. So we put out, we just added the Manila show and made another poster. And within 2 days, both the shows sold out. And it was like,
wow,
crazy. Mm-hmm. And so we went and we just like played those other couple shows. We got posters like in Manila. We went into the mall and we had posters printed. Wow. And like we sold those, because it's like, I mean, we had
you need some
try
merch.
to have something. Well, yeah, some merch, and also like pay for hotels, like things like that.
Indeed.
But it was like just making it there in the mall, going back, selling it. They met every single person. The meet and greet, both nights were like 2 or 3 hours long. Wow. And now we're actually working on another tour to go back this fall. But,
this is the Kane Brown playbook. Like you lived it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're doing the same thing with them because it works.
Well, yeah, the fans are just, I mean, that's what matters more than anything else. Like those are the people that are buying the tickets, that are streaming the music. It's like, how can we like serve them to the best of our abilities and like make them.
I think one thing that makes you a really good manager, which you do so well, is when there's someone or someplace, some market raising its hand saying, I'm into this. We got to chase that opportunity down. We got to go run it down and target that fan a little bit harder, give them an event, give them a show, figure out how to get there. Figure it out.
You're over there. When else are you going to go back over there? Just make it happen. Mm-hmm. Print posters at the mall to pay for your hotels so that you can then go to Tokyo to play another show.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
And, again, to continue globally, like
please.
We all want our artists to be global acts. And so, for one of my indie acts, we get a soft ticket offer at a first year festival over in England. And I said to her, like, this might sound crazy because she barely had any music out, and I was like, I want to get you over there and I want to invest in this market now. And so that in 3 or 4 years time, it can be a really consistent market for you, but we got to invest now. So let me accept this one festival offer and I'll build a small little tour around this, from pubs to songwriter cafes. And that's what we did in August last year. And we did great. I was super proud of her. We even added another soft ticket event over there too. And we did 5 shows in August. We got another bigger festival, probably the biggest festival, C2C in the UK, offer to come back 6 months later. Wow. So we do the same thing. We do that soft ticket. We revisit the songwriter cafes, the pub, and even try a new market in Manchester. And we had another show. Wow. That was great, which then created an opportunity for us. I got back Sunday night. And we were supporting Jon Pardi on a tour over in the UK for her. And all of a sudden we find ourselves over there 3 times in 9 months, which is crazy because
so fun.
Yeah, when people are raising their hand over there saying like, well, we're into this is so cool. I have to keep finding ways to get her back.
Yes.
And I don't care if that's California or Missouri or Nashville or the UK or
whoever's asking, you gotta go.
Or Osaka, you got to figure out and get them there. So
yeah. I want to say one more thing too about I think you've experienced this with what you're talking about right now, but also with Nightly with Asia. we had felt the pull to Asia for a really long time and had a lot of people say, oh, this number doesn't exactly match the number that we need on this document, on this data to prove that you should be able to do this show. So a massive reason why we added those couple of shows was to prove that the fans were real there.
Wow.
And like social media followers, that doesn't mean that's how many tickets you can sell. We've learned this time and time and time and time again. Like,
Ooh.
it's about like, have you built those real fans that like actually show up? So that doesn't exactly like equate. And there's so many people that have that like old fashioned mentality of like, you either have this many monthly listeners in this thing or this many social media followers in this thing to be able to do this.
Yeah.
So we went, and it was a big investment on our part to like make those other 2 shows happen. But it's because we wanted to go back and say, you said we couldn't do this, and we did in 2 days. We sold these out in 2 days, and you didn't think we could sell even a quarter of what we did. So sometimes, like as managers too, it's like taking those risks.
Advocate
and it
for
is
your
an
artists.
investment. Yeah, you do
Yes.
have to. It's scary,
But I bet
if
it was
you
in your
know
gut.
and you believe. Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
go. You gotta take it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have so many friends that this is so funny. We just went to Stapleton. Stapleton's massive, obviously. We all know him. My friends didn't know anything by him. He comes on stage, he goes, is that him? I'm like, dude, what? But he loves to go to shows first to like become a fan of them.
Okay.
And so that's when you're saying that. It's like, he's not following him or anything. He doesn't even know what he looks like.
That's an
apparently.
interesting method of discovery.
But there's a whole, he's strange, but there's a whole group of people that will go buy a concert ticket or go with a friend that isn't following them. So that's such a good, I do wonder how that might change what labels and management companies are putting on you guys and expectations.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, even with Kane he's like, okay, you've gone to Asia with Nightly. I want to do Asia now.
Yeah.
It's like, let's freaking go. So now it's like, that's the next thing is like going there, meeting as many people as I could. Now I'm kind of the person that we're looking at to be like, okay, now let's bring Kane there. And like, who are the people that we need to like start talking to like have that happen? Because he's done, basically everywhere else in the world, but it's like he really wants to go to Asia and he feels a strong pull from his fans or that he's seeing on socials. So it's like, that's kind of the next frontier, but it's awesome that I've been there and I've kind of like experienced it a little bit.
Yes.
So everything kind of plays
Kudos
into each
to
other.
you.
Everything helps each other, you know?
And next time, just plan a whole month out there so you can just really travel.
All boats
You better
rise.
believe it.
Yeah. Okay, to close, what was y'all's first concert you ever attended?
Mine was a Christian concert. Her name is Rebecca St. James.
Amazing.
I love her. Oh, it was her and it was Plus One. These two, they were like both the CCI. I grew up like very much in the church and like that was the music we were allowed to listen to.
Love it.
But now both of them, I've like gotten to know them on the other side. Not Rebecca, but her brothers,
That's
for King and
awesome.
Country, and then the Plus One
Oh,
people
that's
now
her
on
brothers?
this side. Yeah, those are her brothers.
So cool.
But now
Okay.
it's like, it's interesting to like have that be the first concert. And then now they're like, we're in Nashville. The CCM world is huge here. And it's like all kind of come back around.
That's
full
really
circle.
cool. Wow, that's amazing.
I feel I was a little bit spoiled, but No Shoes Nation, Kenny.
Let's go.
Yeah, Kenny in a stadium.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay. First show y'all worked.
Would have been Kane. And that
Yeah?
was November 13,
and you were TMing.
2015.
yeah, I mean, I probably covered some shows at the label.
Yeah.
But like worked it in management. It would have been.
Yeah, like not as an intern.
I know,
Right.
but
Because I did
Even
shows
as an
like as an
intern.
intern. I mean, I was at the Greg Bates shows. That was the first artist we ever worked with.
that's so funny.
There you go.
Greg Bates.
Good shout there.
Yeah.
It would have been if I'm managing, it would have been Nico Moon in 2021.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then what is a country or a venue that you really want to get your artist to play?
Well, Kane in Asia.
Kane in Asia, period.
Yeah, I got to get him over there.
We'll track that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that happen.
Just because I just got back,
Yeah.
but I'll go Wembley Arena in the UK.
yeah.
Yep. I love hearing that those are goals that are going to happen. It's just cool to have that site.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all are awesome. I'm like mad that we're out of time because I could just ask you so many more.
It's been
But
awesome.
Thank
getting to
y'all
chat.
so much.
No,
This has
thank
been
you.
great.
That y'all are super cool. I'm excited to follow and just keep seeing. I can feel your passion. I think Entrepreneur is the best way to talk about what an artist manager does, but that support. Thank you guys so much. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nikki, for having us.